AI chatbots can be risky because of what they say, especially when they make things up. But with AI agents, the bigger risk may be what they can do. Welcome to DialGen AI Hub. I'm Simon, and today we're breaking down the next step in the AI revolution, the movement from AI chatbots to full-blown AI agents. Because right now, advanced AI tools are in the process of demanding something they did not used to ask for: access. Access to your files, your email, your calendar, your business systems. Not because someone is trying to cause a problem, because that is how these tools are designed to work. They need access to be useful. The question is, before you give it, do you know what you are actually handing over? That is what this video is about. Most people have used a chatbot such as Claude or ChatGPT by now. You type something in, it gives you an answer. If the answer is wrong, you can ignore it. An AI agent is different. An agent does not just answer, it acts. It can open files, send messages, update records, click through a workflow, move across your connected tools step by step without stopping to check with you each time, and even delete every single company database and its backups without asking. A chatbot is like calling a knowledgeable friend for advice. They tell you what they think. You decide what to do with it. An AI agent is closer to handing someone the keys to the kingdom, your desk, your inbox, your files, and your calendar, and saying, handle it. That's a different level of trust. And it requires a different level of control. Here is where it gets important. If AI only drafts something, you can review it before anything happens. You read it, you approve it, you decide. But if AI can act, if it can send, change, or delete without waiting for you, the mistake can become real before you even know it happened. A message sent to the wrong person. A document changed in a way that is hard to trace back. A record updated with the wrong information. A file deleted that you needed. An action taken across 3 connected tools before anyone noticed. None of these require a dramatic failure. They just require a small error with enough access to act on it. That is the pattern worth understanding, not the dramatic scenario, the quiet one. So when someone shows you an AI agent, the right first questions are, what can it touch? What does it have access to? What can it reach? What can it do without asking you first? Those questions matter more than how impressive a demo might look, because impressive and safe are not the same thing. Before any AI agent gets to work in your environment, there are 4 things worth checking. Can it read? Emails, files, calendars, customer records, private notes. Reading feels low risk, but it is still access to information that may be sensitive, and information that can be used to take further action. Can it change? Documents, spreadsheets, databases, settings, workflows. Changes can be hard to reverse, especially when they happen quietly in the background. Can it send emails, messages, invoices, approvals, posts? Once something is sent, it is out. You cannot unsend a message to a client. Can it delete files, records, backups, history, tasks? Deletion is the highest risk permission. It is often the hardest to recover from. Read, change, send, delete. 4 words. That is your initial checklist before any AI agent gets started. There is one control that makes a real difference. Before it acts, tell it to show you the plan and wait for your approval. And depending on the context, you might need to do more, which means that with the right controls, the agent can prepare the work. It can gather the information, draft the message, build the steps, but before it takes a meaningful action, a human reviews it and says yes or no. This is not about being afraid of technology. This is not anti-AI. This is just how you keep a useful tool under control. The goal is not to slow everything down. The goal is to make sure that when something goes wrong, and eventually something will, a person was in the loop before it happened. Here is what this means practically. AI will handle more of the repetitive, step-by-step output work over time. That is already happening in some workplaces. It's about knowing what your systems are doing, catching errors before they compound, deciding when to approve, when to pause, and when to override, checking if there is anything you have missed, and being the person who is accountable when something goes wrong. That is not a smaller role. That is the role that matters most once AI can act. Because once AI can act, control becomes the real skill. Not the ability to use every tool, not the ability to automate everything, the ability to know what your AI is doing, what it has access to, and when to stop it. So here is the one rule worth taking from this video. If AI can act, it needs limits before it starts. Before you set up an AI agent, or before someone sets one up for you, run through these 5 checks. Can it read? Can it change? Can it send? Can it delete? What else can it do? And then work out if you need to add any other checks of your own. Ask yourself, are these 5 checks enough? Or is there something that has been missed? Because the next question is, who approved access? And what happens if something goes wrong? That is not a complicated framework. It is just the right question. Ask before the action, not after. AI agents can be useful. Some of them are genuinely impressive. But useful does not mean unmanaged. Once AI can act, control becomes the real skill. And that skill belongs to the person paying attention. If you want plain English AI content, built for people who want control, not hype, follow DialGen AI. No jargon, no drama, just what you actually need to know.